Hello and welcome to Viknotech. I'm Vikram, and today I'll be talking about an issue that I've been facing with one of my older phones. So the issue that I was facing with this phone is the charging port. Now the charging port works well and it charges fine. The fast charging also works fine. This phone, by the way, supported 20-watt charging, so it's all good. So whenever I plug in the charger into the charging port on my phone, the fitting has always been a very loose. Since a very long time it is very loosely fit. So for example, even if I just pull it slightly, it would just disconnect. So even if a slight movement would happen, if you see, it becomes loose and eventually it unplugs. So what would always happen is, whenever I put my phone on the charging mode and I would just plug in the cable like this and leave the phone alone. So even if someone might accidentally touch the cable or something like that, the cable would eventually become loose and it would eventually unplug. And then I would discover that, okay, it's not charging anymore. Even if the cable would not unplug, what would happen is it would become like this loose and it would obviously not charge. So I thought that this issue is because of the age of the phone. The charging port may be worn out or something, and that is why I might be facing this issue. But to my surprise, I checked some of the videos on YouTube and I looked up some information on the internet about charging ports and older phones, and very surprisingly I found out the root cause is the dirt inside this charging socket, if you can see it. So let me bring it a little closer to the camera, and yeah, it's all very dirty and there is a lot of dust and the cloth particles and whatever, the dust and grime, whatever accumulates inside. Whenever we put our phones in pocket, it sort of accumulates those materials from our, say, trousers, jeans, and everything. So it picks up that dust and everything. It builds up a layer of dust and those particles around the completely inside the charging port, and that is the reason the cables does not give a very good fit and it becomes loose. So to clean this up, I found a very simple way. So for that, either you can use something like this, like a simple toothpick, or you can also use this safety pin. Okay, but I would recommend you going with the safety pin, simply because the toothpick in my case was a little too thick. So whenever for example, I try to put it inside the port, it would get stuck. It would not go deep. Now, a couple of things which you need to be very mindful of before you begin this process. So one is that you first need to shut down your phone completely. Make sure it is not on, not connected to any power source as well. Obviously, because you want to clean it and you do not want to damage the electrical circuits while the phone is in on condition. And especially because I'm using this safety pin, which is obviously a metal, and I do not want any electrical damage or any damage to any electrical sockets or circuits on my phone or the charging port itself. Okay, so now that the phone is off, you can see here. Now let us begin the process of cleaning this up. Now how we will go about it: disclaimer, first of all, if you want to try this at home, make sure you don't try it on a very new device. Okay, and even if you try it, please be very gentle about this process. Okay, do not be very harsh or very do not try to do it very quickly. Just be very gentle, little patience, and it would work perfectly. So here, as you can see in this phone, even in the here in the volume grill, the speaker grill, basically there is a lot of dirt as well. So if I just gently put this pin inside and try to take some dirt out, yeah, there are a lot of small particles I can see which are coming out. Even the same is the case with this 3.5 mm jack. Okay, great were those days when when we used to still have this 3.5 mm headphone jack. So yeah, this one can be cleaned by the same method, but right now we are focusing on the charging port. So let's go about cleaning that, because the most of the dust accumulates here. So you just need to take the pin and take it as deep as possible, but do not push it. Okay, just a gentle scrub along the way, along all the sides, and then you try to bring out some of the dust. Now why I'm not getting so much dust right now is I had already kind of partially cleaned this, and then I thought to make this video, but still, as you can see, there is lot of dust particles and lot of like cloth material or something that is coming out. Let me just try to show you. If you can see here, they're all small dust particles which came inside, which were basically inside the phone and came out while I did this process. And yeah, just need to be very gentle about it. As I said, need to be very careful not to be too vigorous or too harsh with this. So yeah, so as you can see, lot of dust coming out. You need to just keep cleaning it and maybe just blow some air into this so it gets outside, whichever does. So even if you can see on the toothpick, lot of these particles and dust coming out. Let me complete this process. Let me take this process and then I'll show you the result. So now I've done this process for a good 3 to 4 minutes. Give it a very nice clean using this toothpick. And now if I can try to show you the inside of this board, it looks much cleaner, much cleaner than before. Let me tell you, a lot of dust came out during this process when I did this. And let's see now, time for the test. So for that, let me first switch on my phone. Now that the phone is on, let me do the charging test and try to insert the cable. First, let me see if I have not damaged my port or something. So yeah, plugging in the cable, voila, it starts charging. So that's good news. So it's charging properly. Even fast charging is working fine. So there is no damage to the port as such. Now for the test of is the cable still loose? So yeah, let me try to pull it. Yeah, it is definitely a lot better. I would say it's not up to an extent where I'm really satisfied, or I would say it's just like brand new, because but still I can now I can still hear that click sound, like when you plug it in the cable and there is a click sound. So earlier this sound I did not used to hear it completely, and it was very loose. So even if I now keep it like this and try to remove the cable, try to apply, just pull it out the cable, it it takes some effort now at least. So I think this would serve my purpose, but the results, I would say, would vary on the actual age of your device. If the device is too old, and maybe if the charging port, the area around it is actually worn out a little and it's gotten a bit loose, so the results might vary. But if it's a relatively new phone, like an year or two, or even 3-year-old phone, for that matter, even a 4-year-old phone, if you do that, I think the results will be pretty awesome for you. Because this is a 7-year-old phone, that's why maybe the results are not that great for me. But I think still this much is sufficient for me to have this mental peace that this phone will charge now, and it would accidentally not plug out automatically. So how do you like this video? I hope you like this video. If you have any suggestions or you give this process a try, do let me know in the comments if this helps you or not. If you want to see more such videos, consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.